Hey guys, TGKS Productions. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the method that I created on how to capture the latest legendary bounty that was added to Red Dead Online, Philip Carlier. First off here, we're going to basically read the bounty poster, and I am going to show you the introduction and show you basically the method that I created on how to capture him. Again, this is going to be difficulty 5. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to be going over the totals that I received through all 5 difficulties as far as the money, gold, player XP, and role XP is concerned. So first off, let's read the bounty poster here. So reward offered for the captured dead or alive of Philip Carlier, wanted for embezzlement and murder, believed to live in the swamps of Lagras for the past 2 years after the murder of a fellow employee of the Lemoyne Trading Company, spotted dressed in shabby clothing and appeared to be mentally unstable due to isolation. Reward paid on capture and deliver. So here we go. Let's check out this basically this introduction here, and then we'll get in on basically how to capture him, or the method I created on how to capture him.
Mr. Philip Carlier. I don't know where to start with this one. I remember when his poster first went up. Mild-mannered, they said. Well, they all are, until they ain't. I might have even looked for him too, but none of us could find him. It sounds like they spotted him in the swamps. If that's where he's been, on the run all this time, then God help him. Ain't much in the way of company out there, or much that won't try and eat you or put you on a pike. Got to ask what years of that might have done to his mind.
You're here. You're here. Oh, thank heavens you're here. See, I've been here for, must be years, trapped. See, I thought no one would ever come. Philip Carlier, the Castile Cotton Company chief clerk. But, I'm sure you already know that, given why you're here. My, I can't imagine how it must look. Oh, no time for any of that. Now, if you'll just let me... Oh... So hoping for someone to share this with. Comes on rather strong the first time, does it not?
Alright, so we're waking up here after being drugged by this guy. So basically right off the bat, you're going to see I have a repeater out. With this first point, you're going to see he just spawned in here. You're going to want to have a repeater here, or something that's going to have a high fire rate. So something like a repeater, even a semi-auto shotgun, a semi-auto pistol, or even like a revolver or a Mauser pistol. Something that's going to have a high fire rate, because this guy basically is going to be spawning in. Doing this, you're sort of be hallucinating here, but he's going to be spawning in, and sometimes he'll be running towards you, sometimes he won't be. But you need to be ready for him, and you're going to want to have something with a higher fire rate. You know, if you're using something like a rifle that's going to have a low fire rate, if you miss him, you know, that may be your last chance of really, or he may end up killing you, because he actually will kill you here. Originally, I thought because this was just a hallucination, he can't kill you, and I started getting a little bit lax with this. Well, he actually can indeed kill you. So you do have to be careful here. That's sort of why I recommend, using a gun here with a higher fire rate. Later on, I will recommend that you definitely have a rifle. I like the bolt-action rifle personally, but in the beginning here, you're going to want to have something like a repeater, or even a revolver, a Mauser pistol, whatever, that has a higher fire rate, because again, you want to be ready for, you want to basically account for maybe possibly missing him a few times. And on top of that, what you want to do here, so basically what I'm running here is, what he's doing is he's sort of just spawning randomly around me, and then I basically have to take him out before he charges and potentially kills me. What I like to do here is basically what I'll do is I stay pretty much right around where it spawns me, and I'll usually focus on one particular side, and then I'll listen for sort of that initial almost poof sound of him spawning in, and then I'll quickly, if he's on the side that I'm on, or that I'm looking at when I hear this, I'll quickly sort of spin around and look for sort of the smoke dissipating, and that's sort of how I quickly am able to find him. Obviously, you won't want to be finding him at the last minute, because like I said, sometimes he'll be charging you, so that's sort of a quick way to find him, and sort of the way you want to really go about this first part of this bounty. Now see here, I'm sort of just rotating around, just making sure that he's not spawning in again. When these large animals that are around you, when they officially sort of poof away or disappear, like you just saw that rabbit do, that's when you officially know that sort of this first part of the bounty is over, and sort of your high, or sort of the hallucination wears off. You'll see here I'm checking my guns. Like I said, at this point I recommend having something like a bolt action rifle, a shotgun. You may even want a bow and arrow, and I'll explain that. And then, like I said, whatever sidearm that suits you most. The first thing you really want to do here, you'll even see me messing with my tonics. Always have your tonics set up in the items list just in case you need them. But you'll see here, the first thing you want to do is grab your horse. And I will say, you want to be on your horse for the majority, really almost this entire bounty mission. You'll see here, this is the area they're basically supposed to search. I'm actually going to show here in a second, basically all the different sort of specific areas within that large search area that he spawns, so that you can sort of check those areas more quickly, and you might be able to complete this a little bit faster. So I'm going to show you that here real quick. So these are all the different locations that I found him from difficulty 1 to 4. All the locations you're seeing here are different for every single difficulty. The map I'm going to show you next is probably going to be a little bit more helpful. It basically shows overall the general area and all 5 locations, or all 5 different locations I found through all 5 difficulties. So I recommend basically pinpointing those areas if you decide to do this bounty. Likely he's going to be in one of those locations. I don't know if there's more than 5 locations. I've only done this 5 times, but he may be in one of those locations. He very likely will be. You're going to see here, basically, this is where I recommend the bow and arrow if you have it. You're going to see there's a guy here, basically, this masked guy that's down in this marshy area. I recommend taking it out with the bow and arrow. It's just a little bit better, because obviously you're not going to alert any nearby enemies from, or enemies beyond basically that point. So, there's no point really alerting them if you don't have to. Generally what I'm running here, and this is really what you want to do, sort of mixing with using the locations that I showed you, but really how I found these locations is what you really want to do here is you want to basically search, or basically move around the perimeter of the search area. That's what you really want to do, and you want to use eagle eye, and then I recommend using the binoculars from the collector roll. That's really going to come in handy. I believe you unlock it on roll level 5 or 10 for the collector roll. But basically what that's going to do is it's going to, eagle eye or these binoculars are basically going to highlight the bounty target, and he's going to show up, or sort of have that orangish, goldish, yellowish, glow above him that's basically going to show you where he's at. Now I will say, and you're going to see here basically coming up here, you're going to see I do end up finding him, so these with the binoculars, which is really nice. So that's why I really recommend that you use these. I will say though, you will find some other like collectibles in the area that will also glow. There's also hints you can find. Personally, I don't really use the hints. In the beginning, through difficulty 1 through 3, there's actually the search area is split into 3. The hints are a little bit more beneficial because it actually eliminates one of those search areas if you use the hints. I don't really know if using the hints in this shrinks this search area. Personally, I wouldn't really worry about the hints, just because basically what I'm showing you here works just as fine, if not even better. So I would just basically run around the perimeter and use those binoculars and eagle eye. You'll see here that alligator is pretty much following me ever since I killed that one guy. I took him out here because basically I'm going to end up alerting everybody here anyway as soon as I try to tackle him or basically capture him. But what I recommend here, you see me come up on my horse. I did state you want to stay on the horse for most of this bounty. This is right here. This is really one of the only times you want to get off your horse. I recommend that you lasso him with the reinforced lasso from your horse, hog tie him, and then immediately try to get back to your horse. You're going to see here, there's alligators, there's going to be guys moving in on me. I cannot see them on the map. Do not try to pick him up and stow him on your horse. If you try to do that, you will most likely get killed. What you want to do here, as soon as you hog tie him, immediately try to get back to your horse, stay on your horse, and take out basically these alligators and these enemies with the machetes and the bow and arrows. Keep in mind, these enemies actually, they're only going to have machetes and bow and arrows, which is nice, but you basically these incoming enemies and these alligators, you want to take them all out before you decide to try to stow him on your horse. And eventually you will eliminate all the enemies or the alligators. There's not an infinite number that spawn, but you do want to make sure you take them out before you try to obviously stow them on your horse. You'll see here eventually I start using Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye is going to be very nice to use, or it's going to be good to use considering that it's going to sort of highlight all these alligators and enemies coming in on you. It's very foggy, so it's very tough to see where they're coming from. You obviously don't want to run into an alligator. I think I actually almost did that, and my horse almost flung me off. You don't want that to happen, so you'll eventually start seeing me use Eagle Eye. It's going to, like I said, it's going to really show where these enemies are at so that I'm not just running directly into them. That's basically what you want to do. Again, you want to lasso him from your horse, hog tie him, and then get back on your horse and then take out these enemies. Do not try to stow him on your horse before taking out these enemies. You will likely not make it, and you likely end up getting killed trying to do that. So like I said, really the only time you want to get off your horse is when you hog tie him, and then after you take out all the enemies, when you officially stow him on your horse. Those are really the only two times you want to get off your horse. Other than that, you want to really stay on your horse for the majority of this bounty. Number one, it's going to be safer. Number two, it's going to be a lot, it's going to be a lot quicker to sort of go around this area and around the search area and find him overall. Let's sort of fast forward a little bit here. Pretty much taking out all the enemies. You'll see I'm still getting shot at by bow and arrows, but I basically took out all the enemies and the alligators that are rushing me, and that's really what you want to do. That's the most important thing here. You'll see I took a tonic here just to ensure that, as I'm picking him up in case I do get attacked. You actually see I did miss one enemy. I did end up getting attacked, so I do think that tonic saved me. But I was sort of looking around. I don't know how I actually missed this guy. You'll see coming up here. But I was looking around in Eagle Eye. I don't even know where this guy came from. I don't know how I missed him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he was even on the video here and I just missed him. But luckily that you'll see when he hit me with that machete, my tonic got taken out immediately. So, or at least, the fortified health core was gone. So I do recommend taking a tonic before you get off, just in case something like that happens. I feel like, that might have actually saved me there with that guy with the machete. But for the most part, like I said, from this point on, you're pretty much done. What you're going to see me do here is just to sort of ensure, because I did have one pursuer come after me, and like I said, I don't know, it's a little bit different for some people. Like last week, for example, with the Cecil C. Tucker one, I didn't have any pursuers come after me, and some people said they did. So just in case, I would recommend you, if you have the bounty wagon, use it. I did have one pursuer come after me, literally just only one pursuer, and that was it. So I do recommend, you'll see me here, I am going to get the bounty wagon. I do recommend that you sort of leave the area. I believe I'm going to show on the map here where I'm at, but definitely ride a little bit away from the area, just so you're not getting hit by those guys with the bow and arrow. And overall, like I said, just putting him in the bounty wagon is going to keep him, it's obviously going to keep him safer, just in case, like, these guys, if they're shooting bows at you or arrows at you, you obviously or as they're chasing after you, you don't want him to get hit on your horse. After you go through all that, then you're going to be losing money because you deliver him dead. So the bounty wagon is obviously just going to be obviously a little bit more of a safer way to deliver him. And also, I sort of want to mention, go back, the reason why I never really mentioned why I want to use the rifle. You saw me taking out those alligators. The rifle is very good, especially with high velocity ammo, express ammo. You really want to have that for taking out those alligators. Really not too many other weapons are going to do a lot of damage to them, where pretty much a rifle, like a bolt action rifle, is going to take them out with one hit. So that's sort of why I advocate using the rifle. I never really stated that earlier, but you saw me using it basically when I was taking out the alligators. You're going to see here, I'm gonna put him in the bounty wagon, deliver him, and after I deliver him, I'll probably skip around a little bit, just I don't want to show the full deliver. I might show real quick where that one guy came in, and I'll show the delivery of him. And then I'll go over sort of the totals I got for going through all 5 difficulties as far as cash is concerned, gold is concerned, roll XP, and player XP.
If it's something else, it's hiding.
please. Toss him in the sternest cell you can find. Well, that's what they're worth, and not a penny more.
Alright, so if we add up all the totals through all 5 difficulties, we got a total amount of cash of $414.14, total amount of gold of 1.6 gold bars, total amount of player XP 3,312, and total amount of rule XP 3,539. Now let's compare that to last week's legendary bounty. So overall we got around $50 less cash, around 24 less gold nuggets. With sort of player XP we got over 1,000 less, and then rule XP we got over 2,000 less than we did last week. So overall we did get less. I think on average part of that is the fact that I was completing this legendary bounty a lot quicker than the other ones, so I feel like time had a little bit of a factor. Also on difficulty 3, I did actually accidentally kill Philip. When I was sort of trying to create my method, I wanted to see if I could lasso him and then drag him away from the area to sort of avoid the alligators and the enemies. He died almost instantly. It was around 3 to 5 seconds after I started dragging him. Typically with a bounty target you can usually drag them. Usually they get knocked out before they get killed. Usually you can drag them a fair amount of distance. He died pretty much instantly. I don't know if that was sort of me just being unlucky, or if Rockstar sort of implemented that in to obviously force you to have to face the alligators and the enemies. I'm not sure, but I definitely I should have mentioned that earlier. I wouldn't recommend trying to do that if that happened to pop into your head, because that was definitely one of my first ideas, was to see if I could just completely avoid the whole situation of having to deal with the alligators and enemies, but you can't. So, you know, definitely don't try that. Like I said, I probably would have gotten a little bit more overall than what I did, but I still think when comparing to last week, it still would have been less. At least as far as the XP, it definitely would have been less as far as that concerned. I might have got around the same amount of cash. I probably lost about $30–40 on difficulty 3, but definitely with the XP and probably the gold, I would have gotten less. But anyways, guys, hope you found this video beneficial. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely recommend doing this legendary bounty. I think it's a cool bounty for this week, especially because we're getting close to Halloween. I feel like it sort of fits that vibe in a sense of that, you know, a Halloween-esque bounty, so to say. It has a freakish or creepy vibe to it. But in any case, guys, I definitely think you will find this beneficial. I definitely, you know, if you decide to do this bounty, I definitely think using this guide you will find great success going through the, you know, not just difficulty 5, but really all difficulties. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching, and as always, have a great day.